Yes, Abu. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam, sir.
All right. So, in our previous class, we did talked about assets. We did talked about different things about assets, and that topic was completed. We learned about uses of assets also. Today, we are going to. By the way, did you guys wrote this thing down in the class? You guys have noted this in your textbook, in your copies, or not? Uses of assets.
No, sir, we have not noticed.
You haven't noted it down. Okay, do one thing. Quickly write it down. I believe in the previous class we didn't had that much of time, so there this topic was left. Meanwhile, we'll be discussing few things also. All right now. Okay. While you are writing this down in your copy, can you give some example of weak acids and where they are found, in which substances they are found?
Sir, weak acid is
Hmm.
um, it is found in natural acids
Weak
and
acids are basically they are natural acids.
yes,
Hmm.
and their examples of them are lemon,
Lemon is the fruit now.
acid,
Citric acid is the example. Hmm.
citric acid,
Okay.
vinegar,
Vinegar. Which acid is found in vinegar? Name of the acid.
uh,
Acetic acid is found in it now.
yes, sir.
Mhm. And there are so many other acids like lactic acid is found in curd.
Lactic,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Think of some more examples. There were a few more examples. Didn't I told you about tamarind? There's a
Yes,
yeah, tamarind is also there. No, which type of acid is found in tamarind? Yes. Do you remember about tartaric acid? So tartaric acid, we did talked about that also. Okay, no.
sir, I have
Okay,
one
right.
question.
Yes.
Sir, sir, my teacher said that you can find out if it is acid or base
Mhm.
by using turmeric powder.
Yeah, exactly. You can find it out by using turmeric powder. Turmeric powder
Sir,
is
then
an
I
yeah.
but I don't know how you will do it.
Okay, how we will do it? See, it's very simple. See, whenever turmeric powder, whenever say that you have taken some turmeric powder, or just mix a small amount of turmeric powder in water, so you will get a paste. Priyanka has not joined yet, na? No, she
Yes,
hasn't joined yet. Hmm. See what simply you can do. Just take a small pinch of turmeric powder, make a paste of it by adding few drops of water. Then you can take baking soda or you can take washing powder. You can take washing powder, okay, na? So when you mix it, the color will change to red. From yellow, it will change to red. So if the color changes red, so thereby it's an indication that that given substance is a basic substance. How often it happens you were eating something and uh, uh, um, a small bit of food fell on your cloth, and when your mom washed the cloth using the washing powder, the color of that stain changed to reddish. Has it ever happened? Have you observed that?
no, sir.
That happens actually. Okay, no? So once we are completed with bases, and once we discuss about acids now, then we will move to that part of the chapter where we will be learning about um, indicators also. What are the different type of indicators we have? We have some natural indicators, we have got some synthetic indicators. So we are going to learn about them in detail. Okay, no? So we have that thing. You will be having some other natural indicators also. If you talk about indicators, you have several other natural indicators. For example, phenolphthalein is also an indicator, or China rose petal leaf is an example of a natural indicator that is also used. Okay, now so once we go there, we'll be discussing about it. Don't worry. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Do let me know once you write it down. Okay. Okay. Also give some example of a strong acids.
Sir, hydrochloric acid,
Hydrochloric acid, very good. Then
sulfuric acid,
sulfuric acid, good. And nitric acid is also there. Okay, now nitric acid is also there.
sir, I have confusion between nitric acid and citric acid.
Nitric acid and citric acid. Okay. See, um, talking about nitric acid. Nitric acid is a synthetic acid. The formula of nitric acid is HNO3. This is this over here, HNO3. That is nitric acid, and that's a man-made acid. Nitric acid is man-made. Or if nitric acid gets into the eye, it will lead to irritation. It can damage our skin. Right now, so nitric acid, the formula of nitric acid is HNO3, and it was used for production of fertilizers. It will be used for the production of fertilizer. So this is a synthetic acid. Keep that in mind. Whether we call it as synthetic or inorganic acid, and it's a corrosive acid. It's highly corrosive acid. Now, if you were to talk about citric acid, so citric acid is a weak acid. It's a natural acid. Getting it or not?
Yes, sir.
It's a natural acid, and the formula of citric acid is like this. It is C6H8O7. That is citric acid. Yes, Priyanka, how are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
Yes, I'm
Sir,
also good. Okay, Priyanka, why are you late in today's class?
Sir, actually, that link I like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That link was not working due to some technical issue. Okay. You haven't missed much. I just told Abu to write this down. In the previous class, we didn't write this down, right? No, this was not
No, sir.
written.
We're done.
Done. Okay. Priyanka, do one thing. Is it possible for you to take a screenshot of this and you can write it later in your copy?
Yes.
Okay, no, okay. In continuation, you will write this in your copy. Whatever you wrote in your copy in the last class, after that you will write it down.
Okay, sir.
So
Sir,
leave some space for it. Yeah, Priyanka.
we wrote about base, right?
Yeah, we not about bases. I believe that uh, I, I might have told you guys to leave some space. So if there's some space there, you can write the uses of acids. Before base, if there is some space in your copy, there you can write it down. Okay.
Okay, sir.
You have taken the screenshot?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. In the previous class, we were discussing about bases. Huh? You guys will answer this one question to me. What do we call those type of bases that are soluble in water? What do we call them?
Sir?
Yeah. Should I repeat my
You,
question? Yeah.
yeah.
What do we call that kind of bases that are soluble in water?
Sir, weak acid.
That starts from A.
Acetic acid.
No, it's not an acid. How can it be an acid?
Alkaline.
Alkaline. I have given a hint here, no? Alkaline. Alkaline. Okay, no? So those bases that are soluble in water are alkaline. Hope you guys are able to understand that. So these are called as alkaline. Now let us understand. Also, we did talked about weak and strong bases. We did talked about weak and strong bases. So examples of strong bases, particularly you have to keep in mind, you have example of calcium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, and sodium hydroxide. Repeat this. Repeat this. Repeat this with me. What are some examples of strong bases? Yes, Abu and Priyanka. You have?
Calcium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, and sodium hydroxide.
Okay, no? Okay. So these are important. Then what are some examples of weak bases? You have ammonia, and the most common one is sodium bicarbonate. Okay, no? And you see, you would be using baking soda in lots of foodstuffs. Baking soda is added. That baking soda, that is basically sodium bicarbonate. Baking soda is the common name. Baking soda is the common name, but the chemical name or the proper name is sodium bicarbonate. The formula is that not that much important. So as of now, you guys can leave the formula. Okay. Then there's one more example of a weak base. Repeat it. That is magnesium hydroxide. So what are three examples of weak bases?
Amino,
sodium bicarbonate,
sodium and magnesium
hydroxide. So these are some of the examples of weak bases. Okay. Now we were this topic was left to be discussed. No? What are the different uses of bases which we have in our daily life? So bases are used in a variety of different objects right now, and actually it's not like that these objects have got a basic nature. Actually, you can understand it in this manner, that it's not like first you decided that I will be only using a base to make a detergent. Try to understand what I'm saying over here. It's not like Priyanka and Abu, we decided that okay, I have to make detergent, so I will only be using a base. The thing is that we developed the bases. We developed the bases, and I mean to say we developed the detergents, and we found out that detergents are basic in nature. We made fertilizers using ammonia, and we found out that ammonia is a basic substance in nature. Or we made toothpaste, and in this we use sodium fluoride, and later on we got to know that okay, sodium fluoride is actually a basic substance. Or we made cement, and while making cement we used calcium hydroxide, and we got to know that okay, calcium hydroxide is a basic substance. It's not like earlier you decided that I will be only using a basic material in order to uh, make these things. So that is not the factor to be considered while these things were made. Hope you guys are able to relate with the discussion I'm trying to have with you guys.
Yes, sir.
What did you understood from it? What I was saying moments ago?
Sir, actually we can't make an basis like
No,
we
no.
can't only with the base.
No, the thing what I'm saying over here is that suppose let's say that I am a scientist for a moment, let's say that, and I want to manufacture detergent, I want to manufacture washing powder, I want to manufacture some detergents. So I manufacture detergents, And after manufacturing it out, I got to know when I test the pH of detergent, I found out that it's a basic substance. It's not like in order to manufacture a base, I earlier have decided that I will only be using a base. I will only be using a basic substance. That was not the case. So these are some of the common examples of bases, common uses of bases which we have in our life. Like soaps, soaps are basic in nature. Detergents are basic in nature. Different type of bases are used in laboratory. Calcium hydroxide, one of the common bases which we have. Calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide is a strong or weak base. Yes?
Strong.
Sir, weak base.
No, it's a strong, no? See, Priyanka? Also, both of you turn your cameras on in the class. We won't be repeating this thing again and again. Okay. So calcium hydroxide is a strong base, and where it is used? It is used in manufacture of cement. Okay, now. So that is the thing about it. Hope you guys are getting it. And do tell me that bases are they slippery to touch? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Bases are soapy and slippery to touch. All right. So that's all about bases. Where do we use? The common uses of bases are as follows. Let us quickly summarize it. We discussed that basic substances are used in soap. It is used in making of detergent. Then calcium hydroxide, that is a strong base
Cement.
used in cement. Good. It is used in cement. Then bases are used in toothpaste also. Then bases will be used in this baking soda also. Baking soda, that is sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate, that is a base that is used in baking soda. And the most important use of base is antacids. Okay, no? Okay, have you guys ever heard of this antacids?
No, sir.
Water antacids.
It's the acid of red ant.
No, that's a completely different definition to it. No, that's not true. See, antacids are basically, these are given as medicines in order to neutralize the neutralize the acidity in the stomach. Hmm? So if someone is suffering from heartburn or indigestion, you might have seen that elders sometimes would be complaining of heartburn like this. Say that I am feeling a burning sensation in my heart, in my chest, I am feeling a burning sensation. Huh? Did that ever happen to you guys? So then in that case, you need to take some medicines that neutralizes the acidity in the stomach. The problem of heartburn or indigestion or an upset stomach, it happens when excess amount of hydrochloric acid is released in the stomach. In the second chapter, we did learn about that, isn't it, Priyanka? Isn't it that? Isn't that Abu? Hydrochloric
Yes,
acid is secreted in the stomach. So if too much of hydrochloric acid is secreted, it will lead to condition like heartburn, or stomach will be upset, indigestion, acidity, exactly. So that thing is called as acidity. So people would be taking various medicines like Eno. It's the most common antacids people usually take. Right now, Eno is like, in fact, India's #1 antacid brand. Right now.
Yes, sir.
Apart from this, also we have different examples. Like you might have heard of like Pepto Bismol. That is one example of this. Okay, now. So what do they basically consist of? They consist of different type of bases in it. Like they consist of magnesium carbonate. They consist of aluminum hydroxide, etc. So particularly all the bases which we have, what they do, they neutralize the effect of acids. As they go into the stomach, they react with acid and they neutralize the effect of acids. Thereby, we get relief from acidity. Okay, no? So antacids are used in the treatment of acidity. Hope it is clear to everyone.
Sir, antacid contains zinc carbonate.
Antacids. It contains a combination of various type of compounds. It will consist of magnesium also. It will consist of aluminum also. Right now, it will consist of different kind of things. Aluminum hydroxide can also be found in it. Basic thing is that this is an example of, this is a basically a basic substance. As it goes into your stomach, it will neutralize the effect. Okay, no? Any other questions in it?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So these are some of the common uses of bases which we have discussed. So can you guys think of some other uses of bases apart from these? There are so many other uses of bases also. Have you guys have you seen like whitewashing? Whitewashing of house is also done using a base. You guys understand whitewashing?
No, sir.
Okay, I will be explaining this. See, whitewashing is basically done, basically it's kind of painting the house using limestone. Okay, no? It's basically kind of painting the house. So it is used in whitewash also. Whitewash is also there. Some of the bases, particularly this base like baking soda, will be used in the baking industry. Some of the bases are used in used as a cleaning also. For example, there's a base called as ammonium hydroxide. Ammonium hydroxide, a base, is used for cleaning stains from cloth. Normally all the washing powders, they are used for cleaning the stains. Particularly there's one such example like ammonium hydroxide that will be particularly used to remove not just normal stain, but it will be used to remove grease stains, for cleaning grease stains. Getting it now? Okay. What about chalk? Have you guys ever used a chalk?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir.
What is that? No. Okay. Chalk is also one such example, used for writing on blackboard. Used for writing on blackboard. Chalk is also one such example of base. Right now. Now,
There is a lot of chalk stones.
there are a lot of
Chalk stones, like there is stones, like when you rub it against like the sir, if
repeat
you
your question once again.
rub it, sir, outside my house, I have chalk stones.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
like chalk stones.
Oh,
So
chalk
then if you
stones.
rub it,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if you
got
rub
it,
it
got it.
against the
Wall
brick,
break. So thereby it will start coming off as a powder, right?
yes, sir.
My screen is visible to everyone, no?
Your screen is visible, but your video is not, sir.
Okay. Just give me 1 minute.
And
Yeah, now I'm visible now.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So chalk is also basically it's a carbonate. It's calcium carbonate. Chalk is what? Basically, it is calcium carbonate. The chalk is also a basic substance. It's a soft and white white rock. Basically, it's a sedimentary rock. It's an example of sedimentary rock, by the way, right? And it's it's basically a form of limestone. Remember in the previous class, I showed you image of lime. Showed you an image of limestone, the white rock. So that is another use of chalk, which we of use of base which we have. Hope you guys have understood it. So you have soap, detergents, calcium hydroxide used in cement, toothpaste, baking soda, then antacids, then in used in whitewashing, then used to clean the grease stains, and used in chalk also. Let us understand about what is whitewashing. So whitewashing is basically in simple terms, it's the act of whitewashing onto a wall, meaning that for example, you would be using limestone. You would be using a limestone. You would take some limestone, you would mix it in water. You will be having a paint, like you will be having a mixture of limestone and water. You will be having a paste form of it, and then you can use it to paint the wall. So whitewashing is a basically it's a kind of paint that is made using calcium carbonate. If I were to explain this whitewashing, you'd be using limestone. Limestone, that is calcium carbonate. So you would take some calcium carbonate and you would mix it in water. So that is added with water. So thereby you have a paste. Paste is ready. You have a ready paste, and you can use it in order to paint the wall. That is simply whitewashing. And actually it is white in color. Okay, no? So that is the thing about it. Next, we are going to learn about the neutralization reaction. What is neutralization reaction? So neutralization reaction basically says that whenever an acidic substance or a basic substance will react with each other, that will lead to formation of a salt along with water. In some cases, heat will also be released. So you have taken some amount of hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. Also, you will take them in proper ratio. It's not like you can take 100 ml of HCl, you can take 5 ml of NaOH. NaOH, by the way, here is sodium hydroxide. Okay, no? What is HCl? Who will tell me? HCl is
hydrochloric acid.
hydrochloric acid. Okay. So Priyanka and Abu, we have added hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. You will take the fixed quantity of these two substances. It's not like you will take any random quantity. Okay. Then when you will mix them, so a reaction will take place between them, and in the reaction you will be obtaining NaCl. NaCl is a salt. It's a salt. NaCl is, by the way, sodium chloride. And the common salt that we consume, the table salt, common salt that we consume at home, that is also sodium chloride. That is basically sodium chloride. H2O is simply water. So in this reaction, what happens? The product that is formed, that is main product, that is a salt. So salt is neither acidic, neither base. Earlier, when hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide were not mixed, so they have their own properties. They have their properties. This HCl was acidic and sodium hydroxide was basic in nature. But once we mixed both of them now, both of them lost their property and a neutral substance was formed. Getting it or not? So in this
Yes.
reaction, the acidic nature and the basic nature of the chemicals are destroyed. Getting it now? In some of the cases, heat will also be released. So when an acid and base react with each other to form salt, water, and heat is released, then such a reaction is known as a neutralization reaction. The name itself speaks for it. Like neutralization reaction, because the product that is formed is neutral, neither acidic, neither basic in nature. So hope you guys have understood this. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, no?
Yes, sir.
So we have learned about acids and bases, and just now we learned about neutralization reaction. Before we talk about neutral substances, there are some everyday neutralization reaction that takes place around us. There are some everyday neutralization reaction that is taking place in our life. For example, the most common one is happening inside your body. The most common neutralization reaction is happening inside your body. Can you think of the example? Think of it. What which one I'm talking about?
So hydrochloric acid.
And
Hydrochloric acid,
inside your stomach, no?
Yeah.
Right now.
digestion.
Hmm. So sometimes what happens? What happens if someone is suffering from indigestion? So thereby one has to take an antacid in order to neutralize the excess amount of acid. Right now.
Yes, sir.
So that is one of the thing. Second thing, you would be observing that, for example, uh, like what happens in the case of tooth decay. We learned about tooth decay in the second chapter, no? Tooth decay. There we learned that bacteria would start to uh, secrete some acids that will corrode the surface of teeth. Do you guys know that our bones and our teeth are made up of compounds of calcium? Yeah,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
right now. So there what happens, the acid that is produced by the bacteria, it reacts with the calcium compounds in your tooth, thereby causing tooth decay. But the good news is that this can be neutralized. Keep this one thing in mind. At one hand, bacteria are releasing acids. Okay, in your mouth, bacteria are releasing acid. So what it will do, it will start to corrode the teeth. It will start to damage the calcium compounds in your teeth. But this can be neutralized whenever you brush your teeth. So you use a toothpaste. And what is the nature of toothpaste? Yes, hello.
Sir, base.
Base, no? So there a neutralization reaction is taking place now,
Yes, sir.
isn't that? So I'm writing some common examples. Some examples are as follows. The first one, we had the example of HCl plus antacid. And where was this happening? In the stomach, in the case of acidity only. Okay. Second, we had in our mouth. In this, you have the acids released by bacteria plus toothpaste. You guys getting it now? So that is another example of it. Okay, na? So hope you guys are able to understand this. Then, uh, did it ever happen to you guys that you got bitten by an ant and then you had to apply some solution over it to get rid of the pain? Hmm? If a person gets bitten by lots of ants, or if they get bitten by an ant, so ant consists of an acid. Now, what type of acid is found in the bite of an ant? Yes,
Formic acid.
formic acid. And the pain that we go through, that is because of this acid. What will you do in order to neutralize the effect of this acid?
Sir, we'll apply yeah,
Hmm. You can apply
calamine
a
lotion.
exactly. You will apply a solution of calamine in order to get relief from the pain, get relief from the itching. Right now, normally calamine is used in some other used in cosmetics also. Huh? you'd be having different type of calamine. Okay, now so calamine can be used there also. So hope you guys are getting it. So third example we had in the case of ant white, which consists of formic acid, formic F for formic over here. Okay, now formic acid plus calamine. So that is another example of this. Calamine is a basic substance. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay.
No.
So we learned about neutralization reaction as well. I have a question. Like you guys tell me, can there be some use of neutralization reaction in our life apart from these examples which we have discussed? Like these were some daily phenomena that we see around us or observe. Can there be some use? Yeah,
Sir,
you
for
know.
example,
Mhm.
sir, there is one thing. So like there's a liquid, I forgot its name. Like when you eat like so much spice, and then when you drink it, the spice like it neutralized, and then you won't feel the spice.
So there is a liquid that neutralizes the impact of spices.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know particularly about the liquids, but I have heard like um, if you were to use this now, there are particularly some natural remedy for also to avoid the impact of spicy food. Some natural food is also used. Getting it now? Do you know the name of it? Like, can you recall the name of it?
No, sir.
Normally what people do, like if they have eaten lots of spicy food, the doctor they can eat ice cream or they can drink milk or they can have some
Sir, if
cheese
you drink,
that will
uh,
help relieve the food.
sir,
Yeah.
if you drink milk after it, then it would just it would not like it would just help them for a few seconds. After
Or
that,
is
it
few
will.
second. Hmm. Yeah, the irritation will not completely go away, but it will help a little bit. Okay, no? Now let us understand about neutral substance. Yeah, by the way, coming back to the question which I was saying that, see, what the examples which we had discussed of daily everyday neutralization reactions happening around us. We had the example of toothpaste and the acids produced by bacteria. So the impact of acid is neutralized by the toothpaste. Then we had the example of this we talked about another example of ant bite where you can use calamine solution to neutralize the impact of formic acid. Then we had one more such example of when you suffer from indigestion, so thereby you take an antacid. So neutralization reactions are very common in our everyday life. They are very common in our daily life. In some cases, neutralization reaction, yes.
So this is also a neutralization reaction. Like
Uh,
if there is a
mhm.
fire, you put water in it, and then it is neutralization.
Repeat again.
Sir, if there is a fire, you put water on the fire, then it neutralize it.
See, there that's a different thing. There, your reaction between an acid and base is not taking place. You are neutralizing the impact of fire. In general sense, you can say that okay, I have neutralized the fire. But in terms of acid and bases, there's no involvement of a reaction between an acid and base in that case. Okay, no. See, particularly at a bigger scale, neutralization reaction will be used in neutralization of factory waste. The waste substances that is discharged from many factories, they contain acids. They consist of acids. So if those acidic waters were to be released in the water body, what will happen?
Sir, it will kill the living organism present in the water.
Exactly. The neutralization in every day life. So we had moments ago discussed few examples, like the first one in the treatment of indigestion. It is, we discussed about this. Second, we discussed that in tooth decay, in order to avoid tooth decay, there we learned that toothpaste are basic substances, and then we learned that in treatment of ant, in fact apart from ant, wasp bites also. So for treatment of wasp bites or bees bite also, it can be used. There we learned that you can use calamine, or in fact if you don't have calamine, apart from calamine, you can just take a small amount of sodium bicarbonate, that is baking soda, and just rub it all right now. So you can take calamine solution. Apart from this, you can use baking soda also. Just take a pinch of baking soda and rub it on the place where the ant has bitten or bee has bitten. Okay, no? Hope you guys are getting it.
Sir,
Further,
acidity also.
which one?
Sir, acidity. Like if you have acidity, then sir, you drink
Yeah,
water. You
in the
drink
case,
cold.
yeah, in case of indigestion, indigestion, we will count acidity. Okay, no? Then it is used in neutralization of factory waste. Neutralization of factory waste. So the waste substances that are discharged from many of the factories, they contain different kind of acids, and if these factory waste are released into the water body without being treated, so thereby it will harm the aquatic organisms that live in the water bodies. So therefore, the factory waste should be treated with basic substances to neutralize the acids present in it before discharging them into the water body. Did you guys understood it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No? Now, furthermore, you will get to know that even in hair conditioning, it is used. Shampoos which we use on our hair, they contain alkaline substance. Okay, now. So in hair conditioner, now think about this. Like if the hair conditioners were to be made up of acidic substances, how irritating it will be for the scalp, isn't it, guys? So shampoos which we use on our hair contains alkaline substance. Note this thing down. I'm using the term alkaline, Priyanka. Yeah, Abu. I'm using the term alkaline. Why am I saying so? Yes. Why I'm saying so? Because only alkaline are soluble in water, no? Alkaline are those bases that are soluble in water. Some of the bases are not soluble in water. Both of you getting my point or not?
Yes, sir.
So alkaline are soluble in water. Keep that thing in mind. So we can conclude this neutralization that the reaction between an acid and a base is called a neutralization reaction. And we have also understood the importance of neutralization reaction in our daily life. So when we have pain caused due to acidity, we can neutralize it by taking an antacid, which consists of basic substances. Or there's an application. One more important thing. Even in the treatment of soil, also it is used. You guys know about this. In soil treatment, also neutralization reaction is the occurring here. For example, you know that plants generally grow well in the neutral soil. So therefore,
Yes, sir.
plants will not grow well in the soil if it is too acidic or too basic. So for example, what happens now? The excessive use of chemical fertilizers, it will make the soil very acidic. Usually it makes the soil very acidic. So thereby Keep this thing in mind. Excessive use of chemical fertilizer makes the soil acidic, not basic. Okay. So such acidic soils can be treated with bases. For example, mostly what people would be doing, they would be adding quick lime. They would be adding calcium oxide to the soil. They would be adding quick lime to the soil. So quick lime is basic substance. It's a basic substance. So that will neutralize the impact of acid. Okay, na? And as a result, the soil will become neutral. Okay. So another important thing is that in the treatment of soil. So here what happens, excessive use of fertilizer makes the soil turns too acidic. So thereby plant will not grow. Too acidic. So thereby it has to be added with quick lime. Quick lime is basically calcium oxide. Okay, no? Calcium oxide. So this will neutralizes the acid. Now here excessive use is turning it into acidic right now. Excessive use of chemical fertilizer. Now suppose in some cases, if some soil is very basic in nature, then what should we do? How do we neutralize it? So thereby, you guys have any idea how do you neutralize a very basic soil? Miss Priyanka, Abu? My question is that, like excessive use of fertilizer turns soil very acidic. So thereby, what were we doing to neutralize this? First of all, you guys answer this one thing to me. Did you guys got this? What we discussed moments ago? How acidic soil is treated?
Yes, sir. The acidic soil is treated with the base.
Okay, what is the name of that base?
Quick lime.
Quick lime. That is simply calcium oxide. Okay, no? Now, sometimes what can happen, Abu and Priyanka, that soil can be very basic in nature also, no? Yeah. So for
Yes, sir.
basic soil, what the farmers would do, farmers would add organic waste into it. They would add compost. What they do, they would be adding some decaying organic matter like manure or compost would be added to the soil. Right now. Now, why we are doing this so? Because soil is very basic. So we would be adding such a substance which should which should be acidic in nature. So basic soil plus compost or manure will make it neutral. What happens now? Manure or compost is added to a basic soil because manures and compost will be releasing acids, and those acids will neutralize the basic nature of soil and make it neutral, and hence plants will grow in a better manner. Is it clear to everyone or not? Abu, did you got this? And Priyanka?
Yes, sir.
I will be asking it sometime. Later on, I might ask it. So get it cleared if you are having any doubt in it. Okay. Okay. Should we move ahead then?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we learned about different uses of neutralization reaction in our daily life. Now we are going to learn about like neutral substances. That what are neutral substances? So any substance which is neither acidic nor basic in nature, that will be that is an neutral substance right now. So hope you guys are getting this thing. Most common example of a neutral substance is water. What is the most common example you have? Water.
Water.
So water does not have acidic or basic properties. It's the most neutral substance. Apart from this, you have table salt. What is table salt? The salt that you use in kitchen, like that is basically sodium chloride. That is NaCl. Or you have sugar solution. The solution of sugar is also neutral. Or you have cooking oil. All these are different, some of the well-known examples of neutral substances which we have around us. Okay, na? So that is all about neutral substances which we have. Nothing too technical about it. Let us learn about this. The most one of the common did we not mention salt? Yes, we have mentioned salt over here. So while we were talking about the neutralization reaction, so there we learned that salt and water is formed in that reaction. So let us learn about salt. Okay, now let us learn about salt. So salt is simply the product that is formed from the neutralization reaction of acids and bases. In the reaction between this hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide, you are obtaining the product sodium chloride, which is a salt. Along with this, water is also released. Now, salt, you guys should know that it's one of the most common ingredients used in almost all food items. And since you consume it every day, that's why this is called as common salt also. Sodium chloride is used almost in every food ingredients, thereby we call it as common salt also. I have a question for you guys. You guys tell me, can we survive without salt? Why is it so necessary for us? Why salt is important? Yes, Priyanka, Abu. Huh? Why salt is important for the human body? Think about this. Is it just for taste? Yeah, is it just for taste?
No, sir.
Do you guys know that even animals require salt? Huh? Animals also require salt. Hmm? All
sir.
animals require some salt to survive. How, for example, uh, see, particularly, for example, if you were to talk about we humans, see, you have different kind of seafood. You know, seafood, different
Yes, sir.
kind of seafood or some meat. In that, natural salt is found. Huh? Natural salt is found in seafood, and in some meat, natural salt is found. So thereby we are getting our salt requirement from that also. While as a seasoning also, we add some extra salt in our food. We add some salt in our food also. Now there are some animals such as goats or sheep or cattle or deer or elephants. You'd find that wherever they would be living in the forest, they would be making regular visit to the salt resources in the nature. Wherever the salt will be found in the nature, they will go there. For example, now there are some natural salt rocks also. You guys know about that? Salt rocks are also there now.
Yes, sir.
So particularly animals like sheep or goat, they would or deer, they would be licking those salts. So in nature also there are different salt sources. There are different sources in nature to which these animals will go, and they will be licking it or taking the salts. So it is taken up by almost all the animals right now. While some of the terrestrial animals, some of the land animals, their diet is deficient in salt. It's not like they are not getting they are completely not getting the salt. The thing is that their diet might be deficient in salt. Their diet might contain less amount of salt, but it will consist of salt. Right now, in
Yes.
some cases, you'd find that the like Mother Nature has provided some natural means of salts for animals. Right now, even you will find about the birds also, that birds also would be eating salts. You might find it weird, but there are some natural sources in the nature. There are some salt sources in the nature. Okay, now the basic question: why all animals require salt to survive? See, basically the thing about this question is that, particularly if you were to talk about we humans, salt plays a very crucial role in maintaining the human health. Salt, like this sodium chloride, that is NaNCl, that is sodium and chloride. You know, there are different type of nutrients required by the human body. Mineral is also one of the type of nutrient. So what are minerals? Minerals are calcium, magnesium, sodium, zinc, iron. These are minerals now. So sodium is also one of the important minerals that we humans require. So salt serves as one of the source for our body for this mineral, that is sodium. Furthermore, the sodium is required in our body for the proper functioning of nerve and muscles. So that's why we see that it is very much important. Later on in higher classes, you will get to know that sodium also plays a very important role in the control of blood pressure and volume. Have you guys heard of this thing? Like, if someone is suffering from high blood pressure, doctor would advise to reduce the intake of salty food. Huh?
Yes, sir.
It's a common thing. So that is the thing about it. Hope you guys are getting it. We'll end the class with some questions. Okay, no? Okay, this one and this one, Priyanka, you will be answering. And this one, Abu, you will be answering. Yeah. Priyanka, you have to answer this one and this one. The remaining two, Abu, you will be answering.
The first one. Sir, is it C?
No, no. Just recall what we learned in the class. Recall the examples of strong bases I told you guys.
I want to see.
That is,
See.
you're answering for this one, no? That is C. Good.
Yes.
Okay. That is an interesting question. You should think about this one, Abu. Yeah, Priyanka, we learned
Sir,
about the strong bases. Yeah, Abu.
it is blue ligmus red.
You tell me, sodium chloride, it's a neutral object, it's a neutral substance.
No color change.
It will no change in color. Very good. It will not change the color of anything. It will not show any change. Yeah, Priyanka.
Sir, D.
D.
Yeah.
See, did we learned about this? We learned about this, no? Like, we also learned about calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide was an inorganic base. Calcium hydroxide is one of the example of strong bases. Talking
Sir, I
about
told
sodium
that
hydroxide.
first.
Yeah.
Sir, is it C or B? I mean D.
No. C is not there. Which of the following is a
D
strong
then.
base? Calcium
D.
hydroxide is strong, while sodium hydroxide is also strong. Okay, no? Both calcium hydroxide and sodium hydroxide are strong bases. Okay, no?
Sir, and the
However,
fourth one.
just one more thing. However, however, sodium hydroxide is usually considered stronger than the calcium hydroxide. Okay, now, so if in examination you have like an option E where you have both A and D, you should tick this one. But if these two options are only given now, the appropriate one is sodium hydroxide because it is considered stronger than that one. Getting it now? Yeah, the
Sir,
last
and
one,
the fourth one, it is A.
A neutralization action. Good. Okay, so that's it for